my wife, who I married, my wife, she is a Bible literalist Southern Baptist, right? So she believes in the Bible literally. And I'm coming from being a Taoist Buddhist. So, you know, how did we ever have a conversation?
Yeah.
Right. But if you look at what Jesus taught, okay, and you know, it's funny, you look at a lot of people that have bad feelings about Christianity, and they you know, they don't like to even say Jesus Christ or talk about that and the like.
Yeah.
But Jesus came, and basically what he did was he basically said, you guys have all been living with a PC. You've been working on a PC, and your whole culture is a PC. And I'm going to introduce you to a Mac.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a new operating system. Okay. And basically, you know, if you get away from the institution of the religion and the
Yeah.
dogma of the religion, you get away from all that exclusivity, my highway or the highway, you get away from all that. You just look at what the man taught. It's really weird stuff, like love
Yeah.
your enemy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
forgive 7 times 70.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
I mean,
in the book of James, what complex me one time when I read, he said, "Consider it all joy when you go
uh-huh.
through many trials and tribulations." I'm like, wait a minute, consider it all joy. But then, as you say, as you read it, you know, you go on. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Bob,
No,
but as we go into that, tell us about your book, "I Am the Way."
right. So what happened was, I took this 2,500-year-old book. Well, Connie, my wife, you know, like, it was funny because she would go off to church on Sundays, and she'd have these really sad eyes. And one time I said to her, honey, why are you sad? And she said, well, you know, I love you so much. I just hate it. You're not going to go to heaven with me.
Mm.
Because in her belief system, I had to be saved. I had to be saved. And I would say to her, well, I hate it that you're not going to be reincarnated with me. And
Uh,
coming from a Southern Baptist, that was high praise.
not only that, coming from your spouse, somebody who you love, and somebody who because we all want our spouses to admire us, you know what I'm saying, for things that we do, and because a lot of times I speak in church, and I will ask my wife, how did I do, and when she tell me that. You did good, whatever, whatever. That makes me feel better than if anybody else told me, like, oh, you did a great job quoting this and that. But her telling me that it just makes a totally difference, because a lot of times,
For
as
sure.
we know, one of the hardest people to satisfy or impress are our spouses. And so
Yes,
for
sir.
that, man, that was cool. That to get
Yeah.
that. But so before we move on, where can we find this book at?
Okay. So yeah, there is, well, you can go to Amazon and
Okay.
look for but by the way, the name of the book, I Am the Way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and life, you know.
Yep.
And the Tao means the way.
Mm.
So, you know, I put this, I made it a little cute, like when Jesus said, I am the way. Is he saying, I
Mm-hmm.
am the Tao? Is he saying, I am the Tao?
Mm.
No.
Mm.
uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it was a little cute. It's a little cute there, you know. So yeah,
Okay.
you can go and get it on Amazon, but you can also go to my website, which is I Am the Way Book, iamthewaybook.com, and it's got links there to Amazon and Barnes and Noble and the like.
Oh, okay. So, man, it's been a good conversation, man. So I'm gonna have to skip a couple of them. So let me ask you this last question, Bob.
Okay.
You did a stint as a addiction counselor. How
Yes,
can
I did.
mindfulness and meditation benefit individuals navigating addictions, obsessive thinking, and unhelpful habits?
Well, it helped me lose 100 pounds. So
Mm,
that's one answer. I'm sorry. So this is what I'll say. There's this kind of therapy called CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it works is you work with the therapist and you try to recognize that something will happen to you. Somebody will come up, or you reach your hand out to shake somebody's hand and they don't offer their hand. So something happens, right? So you get a thought in your head, and that thought, it lasts maybe 2.5 seconds and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it leaves you with a feeling, an emotion, like, I don't like this guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did, well, that's rude. It might have been the thought, and it's gone, and you're just
Yeah.
left with the feeling, I don't like this guy. And based on the fact of your
Mm-hmm.
emotion, you're going to go then do something else, which is going to make him do something else. And then out of the whole thing, you develop a story, and then that story becomes your reality, whether or not it's accurate or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so CBT is the process of recognizing the thought, seeing the emotion that it led to, and then kind of pulling apart the story that you have now accepted as your truth, which may or may not be true. Okay, so that's how CBT works. Now, a lot of people, just from a cultural point of view, a lot of people see somebody walking with their pants halfway down their butts and their underwear showing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people have an emotional reaction to that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So what you see it and you have a thought, I don't like that, or that's rude, or that's this, or that's that, but you have a judgment and you have that thought, and there's no difference between you and that thought. I am that thought. You are that thought. You say, I feel, that person, and that's your truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if I could help you to step back from your thoughts and be the person who is the I in the sentence, I had a thought? CJ, what I would ask you this question. If you say, I had a thought, who is the I that had the thought?
It would be me.
But it's not your thought, because you had the thought, right? You
Okay.
had the thought. So
I
it's
had the
not
thought.
your
Okay.
thought. So who is the I? And since you're a religious man and I'm a spiritual man, we're both religious folks, I'm not scared to say, I believe that the I that had the thought is your soul. And it is a
Okay.
soul that has been written on by this conditioning of society. It's like an old blackboard that's been erased on 1,000 times, and now it's a gray board.
Mm-hmm.
When you can step back and realize, I'm not the blackboard, but I'm the person that writes on the blackboard, and I start to get back in touch with my soul,
Yeah.
I can start letting go of all that gray dust.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get back to the soul that I was created with.